Good evening, everyone. If you're watching on playback, evening to you as well. Hope you enjoy the show, the way the show goes normally. On either a Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever live night we go live is for about 45 minutes to an hour. The community, all you guys that come in here, and myself, help answer all our carp fishing questions and queries to the best of our knowledge. We'll just wait for everyone to come in. There's a few people starting to come in already. Evening to everyone. Oak Carp, evening. Mark Finlay, evening. Hard Kumar, Ben Wallace, evening. Joe Brown, evening. Blanky Carpers, evening. Hoxton, evening. Tommy McAndrew, Matty Rushton, Colin Osborne, Adrian Meaden, and a million other people. The Vaping Carper, evening as well. First of all, my apologies for last night. I had an absolute nightmare with my computer system. I use it for work as well. And I've recently just transferred all my external hard disks over to like a little server. And I put it in the server, all was working fine, and then it couldn't even find the disks. So I had an absolute nightmare for about 12 hours. I finally managed to get it back. So that's the reason I wasn't here last night. But we're here tonight, so we're going to make up for it and make this an absolute betting it would have been last night. Evening, Shane Graham, Cy Davis, Neil Bunting, Adam Hollins, Lee Parsons, Jack Bryant, Thomas Henry Myers, John Pullen, Peter Marriott. Loads of you in here. 72 people in the house already. Hope you're having a brilliant weekend. Who has been out fishing this weekend? Who's been out there braving the cold weather, the frosts, the rain, if it's been raining where you are? Who has been out and where have you been? Evening, Graham the Dodge. Your own evening from Holland. Evening, the Welsh Carp Catchers. Lee Price evening as well. Lee Price is live at Orchard Lakes, apparently. Shout out to Mike Webb's two boys as well. Kai and Isaac. Blimey, it's going crazy. Mark Finley says, call the singles black. Someone convinced him not to spend 260 quid on them. Bloody hell. I've seen a few of those called the singles in action. They're all right. They're nice. They're a lovely bit of kit. But you have to have, from what I can make out, you have to have a flat bank. If it's wonky, then you can't adjust it that way. Unless I'm wrong. I don't know. I haven't got a set. I've just seen them and talking to other guys that have got them. That's what they reckon the problem is with them. But they're a lovely bit of kit. George Vane had a lovely £30 4 ounce carp from his syndicate today. Well done, George, mate. Blimey, there's plenty of people coming in, isn't there? Loads of people coming in tonight. And we're about 1,300 subscribers away from 10,000. So, really looking forward to that. And it's all because of you guys subscribing, watching the videos. Thanks very much for supporting the channel. Colin Osborne nicked a small one. Couple of small doubles, the best. Matthew Randall, he's got the call to singles. He only paid 200 quid. And he says they look the nuts. Joel Ducks bent Wolves are red as well. Had a lovely £23 mirror and lost one. Well done, Joe, mate. Carpy Steve-O bought one of them Coleman stoves. If you haven't seen that review on them, because I've had a Coleman stove for about 20 years. A quick review on it on the channel. Go and check it out. It'll give you an idea about the stove anyway. And, you know, a couple of little hints and tips there for the maintenance of it. I've had quite a few messages and comments on it to use Aspen T4 fuel, I believe. So there's another little bit to add into the review. Carp Fishing Dreams is out tomorrow. Harry S says, are you at Swallow this year in the Netherlands? I will be at the Swallow show. I shall be there, mate. I shall be in Hall 1, I think, near Rod Hutchinson stand, on the Summit Tackle stand. Kieran Brown has got the Terra Hiker stove again. I've done a little review, and I've used one myself for the last 2 or 3 years. So I only review stuff that I've used, I've bought myself. You know, I've got 240 people in here tonight already. We've only been going, how long? Bloody hell, 4 minutes. There's 240 people. Steve Brom says, Leon, what's the common double burner like? I had one many years ago. Yeah, loved it. I loved it. But you've got to put something underneath it, otherwise it will burn. You have to put it on a stand, a bit of wood, a bit of metal or something, because otherwise it will burn. I think it's got legs on it though. You can put the legs out. So any of you guys got that carbon double burner, let us know what you think of it. Also, the Calder singles, let us know how you know, the guys who actually got them. What do you think of them? Are they any good? Are they worth the money? Is there any downside to them? Evening Mace 387. Ben Patton says, do you use the same bobbin for all your fishing, or do you alternate depending on range? I tend to use the same bobbin. I used to use smaller ones, a big one. I use the same sort of medium-sized bobbin. And if I want to fish slack lines, I just put them on the floor. If I want to fish tight, they go right up. So I don't really mess about with them. Yeah, Keith Oakley says you don't have to have level ground with the singles. You've got a spike that you can screw your buzz bar to, so you put it in the ground straight. Oh, good. That's a good. See, I didn't know. See, we learn something every day, don't we? That's good. Riley and Bethany, little shout out to you. James Green. I'm good. Foster's Carp TV. Yep, 234 Cheats says the further he fishes out, the heavier the bobbin he uses. Yep, that's good advice. Blankly blank, checkbook and Ben. Went out last Wednesday, Dominic did. I mean, I haven't had a fish for a month, and I've been out 3 times. I haven't had one, so we're all in the same boat at the moment, I think. Chris Burnsell says, what do you think about the Nash Titan TC bivvy? I saw it at the show, and I quite like it. It goes up really quickly, mega quickly, as fast as the V2 that I've got, the tracker one. Yeah, Mark Finley says, sorry, he's getting the singles. Brian Mills posted a tripod on the Facebook site, absolute bargain. Yep, that's Brian Mills. Well done, Brian. I'm still on the gold, Raymond. Look, that is the gold. The gold is in there. What's left of it? Both lovely cups of tea. The Yorkshire Gold and the Yorkshire Normal is just... I wouldn't go fishing without it now. I'd have to pack up or go down the shop and get some if I didn't have any. Peter Tool says, what do you reckon to the Nash Citrus hook baits? I personally haven't tried them. They're a nice colour. I like the colour of them. Look, sort of a washed out pastel sort of colour, some of them. I think you've got the pink ones as well. Yeah. Guys, let us know. Shane Graham says, are you going to be at the Northern England show? I shall be at the Northern England show. I shall be at the Brentwood show in a couple of weeks' time. It's gone round quick, hasn't it? I shall be at Zwolle in Holland. I shall be at the Northern England show. I shall be at the big one. I shall be at Hengelsport Heridian in Germany, the 3rd and 4th of March also. Oak Cart, little shout out to you. The Vaping Carpet says, brolly or bivvy, Leon? Depends. This time of year I want a bit of luxury. Bit of luxury. That's why I've got me bivvy. Rest of the time of the year, I have as light a brolly as I can use. Welsh Carp Catch had a £34 10-ounce new PB. Looking forward to seeing the blog. Looking forward to seeing the Welsh Carp Catchers vlog on that one. Who else we got in here? Brian Mills certainly knows his stuff about bait, that's for certain. Evening, Paul Bradley. Yorkshire Gold is the one, isn't it? Nice and strong. If you like strong cup of tea, Yorkshire Gold or Yorkshire tea is the one. James Green says, Leon, will you be doing a review on the Scent from Hell bait? Probably not. I might do, probably not though. Chris Bark says, how'd you get in on the car park swim last Sunday at Sandhurst, mate? Blankety blank, checkbook and pen, Chris. Didn't see a fish for 2 days. Nothing. Blankety blank. Not a liner. Nothing. Absolutely not good. But there you go. That's fishing, isn't it? That's fishing. Jake Sharp says, helicopter or lead clips? Depends on the lake I'm fishing. If it's weedy, I tend to go with a clip set up because I want to get rid of that lead straight away. Otherwise, you tend to lose the odd few more fish if you don't get rid of the lead straight away. Or if you're fishing snags, I want to get rid of that lead straight away. There's hardly any weed or no weed at all. Like Sandhurst, I'm more than happy to use a helicopter setup. I prefer the helicopter setup. Yeah, even in the obsessive carper, Darren, he says he's got to recommend the Probolic gas heater. It's fantastic and great on gas. I'll have to have a look at that one. The Probolic gas heater. I'll have a look at that for certain. Because this one, which is in the blog on Monday, didn't think much of it. If I'm honest, you have to wait to see the blog, but it's bloody dangerous, I think. Because that just look at that there just sits on your cooker, you knock it over and that gets red hot. But it's all right as a heater, but there's better options out there, much better options. Keep on vaping. Evening, Mark Perks. Sorry if I'm not answering all your questions, it's just it's going really quickly, and I've got the slow mode on as well. It's going really quickly. We've got 276 people, 277 people in the house. We're never going to beat that 365. Do you remember that, guys? If you was in there, 365 people we had one Tuesday night. It was mental. Evening, Carl G. Carp Dog, he's next door with Mrs. B. Mrs. B's not well at the moment. She's not well at all. She's got a stinking cold. So I've had to fend myself a little bit. Still got another lovely dinner this evening, though. God bless her. Where's the pork chop? I had pork chop for dinner tonight, Brian Silver. He's next door, the old pork chop. He's snuggling up to Mrs. B. Northern English Show, I will be at the Summit Tackle Stand. Ian Smith. Evening, Ian. How do you determine a line bite to a real bite? Well, there's no precise way, in my honest opinion, but I would say if the bobbin goes up and then settles back to exactly where it was, roughly, that's a line bite. If it goes up and stays there, then you've probably been done. Cheers, Dom. Yeah, I've heard good things about the Calder HeliSafe, I must admit, from guys that are not sponsored by Calder, who use it, and they've said to me, this really is a good bit of kit. Yeah, there's plenty of blood bomb out there, Chris, at Sandhurst at the moment. I know that. That's one of the reasons I don't think they're feeding very well, and the other is lower oxygen levels. So for anyone who's been fishing Sandhurst lately, when the fish have come out, it's when there's been an absolute hooligan wind blowing. Lots of oxygen. It's, you know, all lakes in that area this time of year suffer from that. It's because of all the trees around those lakes. All that rotting tree leaf takes you oxygen out of the water. Phil Warby says, hi Leon, have you seen the new Nash hide? What do you think of it? I haven't seen that one. I've seen the Titan TC, but I haven't seen the hide. That's a bit more, that's a bit smaller, isn't it? I haven't seen that one. I'm hoping to see that at the Brentwood show. I'm going to go and have a look, see if I can find that. But someone else sent me, it looks quite good. What's the price of those? I'm not sure what the price of those are. Peter Tool says, HeliSafe's a good bit of kit, but breaks easily. Termit says, are the damn Quick Z base big pit carp reels any good? Personally, I don't know, I haven't seen them, but someone on here might be using them or has had a bit of a better look than I have. Neil Bunting says the Nash hide does look good. 250 quid the Nash hide, which ain't mega expensive for a brolly or a bivvy nowadays, is it? What are the best baits to use in winter? Zig fishing, real or fake? For zig fishing, all I use is black foam. I don't use anything else but black foam. Ian Smith says, Leon, have you seen the new Gemini Tackle Arc LED system? I haven't seen it working. I saw a video that Carpology did on it ages ago, and it looks interesting. If you want to cast mega distances, I think it worked well for you, but I don't tend to cast maximum 80 yards all year, really. Keith Oakey has never broken one of the quarter heli safes yet, and he's been using them since they come out. Well done, Peter Golding. He had a nice comment today. 287, 288 people in the room. Bloody hell. Appreciate all you guys taking up your Sunday nights to come and join the community, because that's what it is. It's just one big community where, look, we're asking the questions. Half of them I don't answer because you guys are helping out with them, because you know more than I do about that specific product or subject, so which is great. Jack Bryant says, Leon, what hook link would you use for a blowout rig? I like to use like a coated braid or a supple braid for a blowout rig, with a little ring on the side, level with the between the point and the barb of the hook. I found is always you get the best hook in there. Harpy Stevens says, how do you find clear spots? What I do is the rod I'm going to use with a rig on, or either take the rig off, or I use the old rig from the session before. I cast about until I get the drop that I'm wanting to get. Then I'll clip it up, or I'll put the old rig on, cast it out to that spot, hit the clip, feel it down. If I get the same feel on the spot, I'll just pull it back a little bit to see if the spot's clean with that old rig. Then I'll reel it in again, tie on a new rig, bait up and bang that out there, and I'll be fishing lovely. That's how I find clear spots and how I fish to them. Always run that rig through, that old rig through the spot, because it might be, you might go, oh lovely, bonk, donk, and you think that's a lovely spot, and then you pull it back half a foot, and it's solid. Will Holly says, Leon, have you ever tried Sunny Base Duranium? I think I've used their hemp and corn and things like that in the past, and it's been good. Good evening, Brian Mills. How are you? Hope you're well. How's your boilie making going? Certainly what beats watching Dancing on Ice, Jetsy Jimmy. Do I tie new rigs on every session, Joel Pritchard asks? Not always. Sometimes I do. If that hook's sharp or I can sharpen it, I won't tie a new rig unless it's damaged. I can use the same rigs for 2 or 3 sessions. I'm a bit of a tight sod like that. Rob Edwards says, hi mate, have you used the Ronnie rig? If so, any thoughts? I used it in one of my earlier blogs back in last winter. I put it on for about 2 hours. And I didn't. It's not my thing. I'd rather use that little combi rig that I use. Not as much metal on it, and I think it works just as well. Evening to you, Jason City Allen. Tracker Tempest Brolly now being knocked out under £150. Shop wisely. There you go. And that's a nice brolly, the Tracker Brolly. The Tracker Tempest Brolly, that is. Ben Wallace says, when would you start spodding again? When the fish start feeding. I mean, last winter, if you look at some of those old winter vlogs, I was putting loads of spod mix out because the fish were feeding. At the moment, I take the spod mix with me and I bring it home because the fish just aren't feeding, so I'm not putting any out. Carpy Stevo says, do you think the bell ball cutter with meat would be something different? That's that thing where you cut the... you can cut meat and stuff, isn't it? Not sure it'd be anything different, but it's easier, I suppose, if you've got a lump of spam or something, a lump of cheese you want to use or something. Just use that, and it cuts around, as far as I'm aware, around like boilie shape. To be sure says, what would you go on if you saw no fish in the winter? Really good question. I'd go on what's happening in the last couple of weeks. I'd go on the form that's been happening for the last 2 or 3 weeks, where the fish have been caught from, if any fish have been caught. I speak to bailiffs because they're the most knowledgeable guys down any lake. They know what's going on because they're walking around it, checking tickets. You know, and I go on, if that was no good, I'd go on what previous winters had been like. Also, I'd go on the back of the wind because fish, not always the case, but they don't tend to like that extra couple of degree or half a degree colder where that wind's blowing. So they're the sort of things I'd look for. If not, I'd just go where I go. Marco says, would you use a fluorocarbon hook link with a leg clip or helicopter? Yes, most definitely. I use, if you see my spring and summer vlogs on the channel, I was using a D-rig, and that's with amnesia, or you can use it with fluorocarbon. That was with a double bait, and that was on a helicopter system. So as long as you tie them knots right and blob them, you shouldn't have a problem. Jonathan Wainwright says, hi Leon, can you give me your opinion on the Summit D-bit bank sticks, please? They are, what can I say? I mean, I've got to say that I do a lot of work for Summit, so I use them myself. I mean, I use the pod now, but I use them if I want to use single bank sticks with your Spirit T-bar in the top, and they cut for anything. You know, there's some really hard ground on the Park Lake, and it just goes through it like butter. Of course, you've got to put a bit of effort in, and they're properly engineered. They never fall apart. You'll buy them once, and you'll never have to buy them again. As simple as that. You know, I think they're a little bit cheaper than Jag's equivalent, but they're, you know, they are properly engineered, UK made. They're quality bit of kit, so I wouldn't put you off buying them, that's for certain. Hi Graham Rowland, hope you're well. The next gadget, well, not a gadget as such. Look at that, look, I'm gonna have a little look at that. Someone sent me this, sorry. Dive Deep, right? These are a fly fishing company, and it's like a tungsten, I wouldn't call it putty, because it's really soft. Really soft. Look at that, look. See that? It's a really soft putty, and it's for coating your braid if you want it to sink, or putting on your leader, just rubbing it up and down, you want it to sink. They sent me that to have a look at. It's interesting. It's not, you can't mould it, but I'm going to have a little go with that, have a little look at that. I think it's about 4 or 5 quid as well, where normal putty's about 12, 14 quid, isn't it? I'm going to have a look, see if I can use that in my fishing, and you know, give you a little rundown on that. That's not the next sort of gadget, but that's the newest thing I've got at the moment. I'm going to be putting out a review video on Friday about the Cooler Tackle Safe. Wednesday we've got one I haven't seen anyone do before. I did a video on low pressure, how weather affects carp, the high pressure, the low pressure, and what sort of rigs or tactics you should use what I do anyway, when you've got a low pressure or high pressure. So that should be interesting to a few of you guys. Full as earth, could well be, Lawrence. Chris Burns, he says, thoughts on Fox Black Label pod? Mine broke after a week. I have heard that the Black Label stuff does break. I've used it when I used to work for Fox many years ago. I used it. I didn't really have a problem with it. It does scratch up for a lot because obviously it's aluminium and the coating's very light on it, of the anodization. But I never had any problems with it. But I've heard a lot of it comes apart because it's made in China. But I never had a problem with it. Evening, Liam Burns. Still got 300 people in the house. Blimey. Kieran Morton says, hi, Leon. Do you ever use inline lead system? I do when I'm fishing in the margin. I'm fishing a short braided hook link, like of a tiger or something like that. I fish a drop-off inline lead. So the lead core's over the lead. So when the fish picks it up, the lead comes off. James Green says, will you be doing another blog with Carl G? Not too sure. It may be in the future. I'll probably do a few with lots of different people. I'm going to definitely do one with the Obsessive Carper. Hopefully Top Penguin, Ady Blanford as well. These two guys I know quite well. So it's just getting the time. It's just getting the time. Ben Wallace says, what about a flying rat jumper, Leon? Getting the time again to do it, to design it. I'll get someone to design it for me, but it's on my list of things to do. Carpy Steve-O says, keep the vlogs going, Leon. Highlight of the week. Thanks for your feedback. Really appreciate it. Steve Borum says, Leon, just bought myself a barometer. Didn't think of getting one before. Well done for advice. No problem. Ronnie McNeil and his mate are out on the bank tonight, but they haven't caught anything yet. So good luck. Let us know if you do. Chris Burns, he says, how do you get into sponsored angling, Leon? Well, I'm not sponsored by anyone. So what I do is I do work. Because my business, if none of you guys know, is I'm a digital social media manager. And I contract my work out, i.e. like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, photography, videos, all that type of stuff to companies. Probably about 20% of what my business does is fishing companies. The other 80% is your normal company that's got nothing to do with fishing. So in that regard, I used to be a sponsored angler, but I don't think there's many of them about anymore. What I would do, I would say, to get sponsored or to be able to get a little bit of cheaper stuff from these guys, is just keep putting stuff up on social media, because that's everything nowadays. On your Instagram or Facebook page or Twitter, tag them in. You know, tag those companies in. Fish captures, you know, do a little review on one of their products or something. Then you've got a bit of a grounds to go and say, look, I'm doing all this from your social media. You must have noticed. Any chance of reduction in price for some of your hook links or something like that? And in return, you will give them some, review or a little write-up or something on your social media. That's the way to get sponsored. It used to be, you used to have to be in the magazine, things like that. But the magazines are they've really taken a nosedive after the last 2 or 3 years. And lots of them are just non-existent anymore. Carp Talk, you could send an article to them with some products that you've reviewed or that you use or the way you go fishing. That's the only way nowadays that I would say you've got to bring something else to the table than just catching fish. Hope that helps. Ian Smith says, Leon, any thoughts on a charity fish with Leon? All anglers to bid in a fishing session, higher bid or wins for charity of your choice. What's your view? I think that'd be great. And I'll tell you why I think it'd be great. The last 2 or 3 years, I've always given away a 24-hour session with carping, Carping, oh, bloody hell, I forget the bloody name of it now. Carping for Cancer was one, and what was it? Carping for Heroes or something like that. Because probably a lot of you don't know is that I'm an ex-serviceman myself. So anything to support ex-servicemen or guys that have had problems when they've been blown up in Afghan or wherever it is, I'm all up for that. So that would probably be a really good, I'm definitely going to organise something like that where I do a 24 or 48 hours, you guys bidding it or whoever bids on it, and we give all the proceeds. I'll get a fishery sorted where we can get it for nothing or cheaper price or whatever, probably nothing. And you can bid on a 24 or 48 hour session, whatever it's going to be, depending on time, and all proceeds to go to, our heroes, basically. Wayne Tonk says, Leon, how would you go about fishing a hard pit in winter? That's a difficult one. I probably won't fish a hard pit in winter, if I'm honest. If I did, I would probably just try and find them. Depends on how deep it is, probably zigs and maggots and things like that, and try and find them. Carp Fishing Dream says, do you fish as small as possible lead, or do you have a minimum size? I fish as small as possible. About 1 ounce is about the smallest I go down to, up to about 2 ounce. But normally I match the lead to the distance I'm fishing. So if I'm fishing 60 yards, I'll be on a 2 ounce lead or more. If I'm fishing 40 yards, I'll try and get away with a 1 ounce lead. I only use as much lead to get to the spot I'm fishing. Carping after combat. Carping after combat. Paul 1 Carpy. Thank you very much. My mind had gone crazy then. Chris Burnsall says, love the way you upload the blanks. Keep it real, Leon. Well, you're going to see a lot more blanks, I think, because I'm just not getting amongst them at the moment. I don't know what's happening. Just the way it is. Everyone blanks, don't they? Just the way it is. Wayne Lewis says, hi, Leon. I'm ex-military. Love to help. Great charity. Yeah, brilliant. Guys, when I sort something out, because it's going to be carping after combat, because I know the guys there really well. And I've already pledged something to them. So as soon as we sort of hook up and get it all organised, then you'll be the first to know. That's for certain. What is it? Hang on a second. Here we go, look. Here we go, look. Good friend of mine, David Coates. Carp after combat. Okay? So look out for that in the future, guys. Especially all you other ex-squaddies as well. Popping on with Kev, evening, mate. Dominic Carter says, as you have Mrs. B, you haven't really blanked. I know, she's a diamond. She's an absolute diamond, Mrs. B, I tell you. You don't find many like Mrs. B who can cook like she can. Doesn't mind you going fishing. Kieran Morton says, do you ever miss any takes with small leads? No, because the reason being, but must miss some because when they're blowing out the rig, but I use the strongest, sorry, not strongest, the sharpest hooks I can sharpen up, or I get them from, you know, there's lots of different hook companies out there which will do pre-sharpened ones, like pinpoint hooks, that's the ones I use, or you sharpen them up yourself, and I find even using a 1 ounce lead, I still hook them. I mean, I catch a few fish over the year using light leads. Doesn't seem to do me any harm. Jason says, what's your opinion on the new Tracker Tempest? Is it easy to put up? Now, the V2 Tempest bivvy, which I use, really easy to put it up. I really like it. Carpy Steve says, big shout out to all the soldiers who do an awesome job. They certainly do. They certainly do, I tell you. I know guys who are still in there from when I come out years ago. And they're still in there doing the do. Chris Bursey says, do you think using bottom baits means your chance of hooking the fish is less? Not at all. Not at all. I mean, a pop-up sits better, but I've probably had my best season last year, and the percentage of that, I'd say 60% to 40% were on bottom baits. Yep, Ross McDaniel says V2 goes up easy as well. Evening, Robert Capewell. Fishing for Heroes is another one. Will Hollis says, got to support all these guys, you know. See you soon, Craig Sayer. Ronnie McNeil, yep, let us know if you catch. Mark Roberts says, hi, little Ronnie's mate here in the next bivvy. Just finished the Mrs. Homemade Curry. She's a good one. Lovely. Isn't it, Mark, eh? When you manage to find a decent woman who can cook a nice curry when you go fishing. Yep, Dom, yep, it's pretty easy. I mean, I did, in one of my vlogs, I had the V2 and I showed you all about it. So try and hunt that out if you can see it. I might try and cut that bit out of the vlog and put it up as a separate video to help you guys. Ray Rowan says, CAC is a great event and Dave does a great job. Also, Jim Davison. Yep, Jim Davison's there as well. I'll try my best, Ian. Look, we're only halfway through and I've run out of Yorkshire tea. It's not good, is it? Chris Burnsy says, do you size everything down in winter? Not really. I normally go with the same rigs. Unless I'm really struggling like I am now. So I've gone on my old faithful, the old little combi rig with little 10mm pop-ups on. Just to see if I nick a bite. Happy Year to you. Happy New Year to you, Paul Webb, as well. Evening, Gareth Price. Yes, I should have read the instructions, Dom, shouldn't I? See what I did? I busted the V2 skull cap inserts that go into the V2 was I didn't read the bloody instructions. Jack Bryant says, any recommended place to catch a good amount of carp for a day in Northamptonshire is, where's that place? Which is full of fish. We can go down and have 2 or 3 or 10, depending on the feed. Drayton Reservoir. That's near Northamptonshire, isn't it? PG tips for Gareth Price. He doesn't like the Yorkshire Gold. No problem, Ian. Yeah, Drayton Reservoir, that's the one. I haven't been there for years. Fished zigs there years ago and had quite a few in a day for a magazine article. It was a long time ago, probably about 10 years ago now. But God, they were crawling up the rod. As soon as you put that zig out and spotted a load of sloppy spawn mix over it, oh, it was like a load of piranhas. No problem, Dominic. We always try and keep it real, don't we? You know, if I say that I've bought something, I buy it. If I say that I've been given something to do a review and I do, you know, it's just the way it is, isn't it? What's the point of hiding anything? There's no point. What you see is what you get. Yep, Jack Bryant's going to go to Drayton. Let us know how you get on. We're really interested to see how it's fishing these days. Mallard or Stanwood Lakes, Graham the Dodge Green says that's another good option for you. Sean M says, did you get all your data back last night? I did, Sean. It took me about 12 hours to figure it out. I had to buy a bit of software called Disk Warrior to anyone who knows anything about techie stuff with computers. So I had to repartition my discs because I couldn't read them. The computer wasn't even recognising them. So I had to actually go in through a different way, through a command line, if anyone knows what that means. Drayton is still a runswater, Ron Busby says. Evening, Lee Brown. Chris Burnsy says, fishy baits or sweet? Depends. This time of year, I like to go for the fishy type of baits. But sorry, the sweet type of baits, not fishy. What I'm talking about. Brian Mills says, Leon, why did you keep putting me forward to do a live last night? Brian, because you've got a heap of bait knowledge. From what I can work out, what I've seen of when you comment on here about bait and things like that, you'd be really good at doing a live answering questions about bait. You know, I know you make your own bait and all that and everything, and loads of other guys use it, so you'd be an ideal candidate. You must do one, Brian. Dominic Carter. Andy Gibbons says 35 quid for 24 hours at Drayton. Bloody hell, that's a lot, isn't it? 35 quid for 24 hours. Bloody hell. Ben Wallace says, would you clip your rod the same as your spod rod or clip it a foot more, Leon? I tend to, depending on how deep, I mean, the waters I've been fishing this last year have only been up to about 10 foot deep maximum. Well, even less than that, really. Probably about 8 foot and below. So I tend to keep it the same. But anything over about 10 or 12 foot, I would go 3 foot. I would go 3 foot short on your spom to what your normal clip is. 3 foot longer, should I say. Talked about. Is that it? For every foot, or every 3 foot, sorry, let's get this right. For every 3 foot in depth of water, I'd go a foot. I'd take a foot off, so you're a foot back. Jerome says, we also bring some black chicken gear to swallow. Unfortunately not, Jerome. Unfortunately, I can't. Yeah, as Ian Smith says, yes, Brian, we all have a bait blog or live. Be brilliant, really would. Rod Gifford says, sweet nutty baits, yeah. What's my thoughts on the gripper hook? Is that the one that Atomic Tackle do? If it is, it's not a bad hook. 312 people in the house. Bloody hell, crazy Sunday night. I might have to swap from Saturday nights to Sunday nights now. I'll be on Tuesday. I should be back at Sandhurst, I think, or somewhere else. and I should be doing a live stream from there. I think it's going to be windy as hell, but we're still going to do a live stream, me and the Carp Dog. So don't forget Tuesday night, guys. If live stream's your thing, I should be live Tuesday night from 7 o'clock. Joe Reese says he's sticking to bottom baits. 2-0 to him this year so far, using Selim Mays. Yeah, that's another thing. What I tend to do on lakes is if you're fishing a lake and it's really busy, you tend to find that a lot of the guys will fish the same type of method, like they'll all be on pop-ups. Now, to me, that's a immediate thing to say, right, I'm going to try bottom baits or a little bag or zigs or something. Sometimes it can really turn the tables on you catching more fish, well, a few more fish than the other guys. There we go. Carp Tart says for every 4 foot of depth, add 1 foot to your line length. There you go. Batmig says no, don't swap. Don't swap from Saturday to Sunday. Will Holly says, does the Carp Dog ever try to eat your bait? No, and I'll tell you the reason why. When he was a puppy, about 7 years ago, I took him for his first little outing carp fishing. And I was using chods at the time. I tied up these chods. I had them lying on the bucket. And he's mooching about. He's only a little puppy, don't forget. Mooching about. And I was on the phone. I'm looking out to see if there's any fish. And now I've turned around. And I've just seen him at that critical point when he's just about to eat the chod hook bait. Right? With the rig on. Big size 4. Stiff rigger on there. Big curve in it and that. Swivel on the end. The putty already all done. Already to slide up my leg core. And I just couldn't stop him. You know, it's just gone to past that point. And he woofed it up. I just looked at him in horror. I thought, oh my God, first thing I thought was Mrs. B's going to kill me. Right, I'm going to have to take him down to the vets. It's going to be a nightmare. He's going to swallow it. He just looked at me. He picked it up, looked at me, shook his head and just spat it out. That was one of the last times I ever used the chod rig. And now I leave my rigs around and everything. He doesn't take a blind bit of notice. It's as if he was saying to me, them chod rigs are rubbish. Like that, spat it out. He's never been near another rig since. There you go. It was atomic gripper hooks. They're pretty good. Yep, I think Colin Osborne says the cold weather's coming in again. I think we've got another cold snap coming. -1s, -2s, I think. Foamy said, yes, Foamy says, over technical, these are fish, easy to catch in if you're in the right place, all the gear, all the rigs, all the bait, makes no difference. You can catch carp on anything as they are greedy fish. I agree, but what I will say to that is, because most lakes are busy now, and the fish are wary, it's if they're hungry, you can catch them on almost anything. You know, most baits will catch your fish, all baits will catch your fish, most rigs will. But it's those times when, which is most of the time, when they're not that hungry or they're very wary, when they don't have to eat because they're not starving. They're the times when rigs and baiting situation, getting your line down or fishing a different spot from a different angle or fishing a different swim or just fishing singles or putting loads of bait in or fishing a zig when you wouldn't. Those are the times when you have to think about it a little bit more. But yeah, in essence, you're right. If a fish is hungry, just like you, whatever's in the cupboard, oh yeah, I'll have some of that. Steve Fox says, when will you be doing the next blog for taking self-takes, Leon, please? I haven't thought about doing any more on the photography. Maybe in the summer, I think I probably might do some more. Because it wasn't that well received. Not as many people watched them for the amount of effort. But I'm still going to do a few more on night shots as well. Things like that. So probably in the summer or spring, maybe. Right, Gifford said, Leon, would you ever use a running lead in a PVA bag or fixed only? I'm not really one for fishing bags. If I do, I fish a little inline lead, little probably 4 or 5 inch supple braid hook link, little size 8 or 6 hook, and like a little single dumbbell, something like that, with a load of pellet in there. But I haven't fished like that for a good few years now. Graham Roland says, I don't get the fruity or fishy in winter. Why it does not make sense. I must have missed an earlier question. Dominic Carter, yep. I mean, a couple of my friends, they've had to take their dogs to the vet where their carp dog has just eaten the rig and swallowed it. Eaten the rig and swallowed it, you know. They've had to cut them open and get the hook out. It's cost them thousands. Kieran Brown says, Leon, can you do a vlog on feeling the lead down on the cast? Can't seem to get it right. I will try. It's a very difficult vlog to do. You know, question of the week to do. A lot of my vlogs, I actually show you what I do and that. I will try, but it's very difficult because you've got to watch the rod tip. You really need two people so they can film you actually doing it and have the camera on the rod tip. Or I will try. It's on my list to do. It's been on there for quite a while. LSC73 says, merino top and socks for his birthday, really hot. Yep, guys, if you haven't seen the videos I've done or talked about it in vlogs, merino wool, undergarments, socks, leggings, you know, top, it's all you need in the winter. Of course, with your other layered system on, but that's all you need. You have them in a sleeping bag and everything. It keeps you as warm as toast. Really does. There's a few, there might be some links in the bottom of, well, most of my videos about where you can get the merino wool stuff from. Danny Glee says, who did you serve with? Who did I serve with? I was in... no, I'm not going to tell you. Ismail Smith says, was it spawn past your fishing rod or cast closer? Your spawn has got to land. You take a foot off, I think. Chris Burnsy says, what bait are you trying at the minute, Leon? I'm using little 10mm washed out and fluoro pop-ups from SSP. They're really buoyant. If you use a Ronnie rig, try some of their little 10mm pop-ups. They stay up forever. And the good thing is they're quite porous. So I use talin to soak my hook baits this time of year, my little pop-ups, and it sucks it in. All right, Troy Wales says, merino socks on Amazon now, £6.99, 3 pairs instead of 21 quid. Is that with the same link? I hope it is, because then you'll get them even cheaper, Troy. I'll have to have a look at that. I'll try and put the link up. I'll go and check them out on Amazon and eBay and put the link up. It only takes one bite, the closed Facebook group. Guys, most of you are, I know, but if you're not in the community's closed Facebook group, do a search on Facebook for It Only Takes One Bite. Ask for an invite to get in there, and then we'll get you in if you're all right. And there's loads of information. There's always people asking questions. I try as much as I can to help answer some of the questions, but I just don't get the time. But in all honesty, the guys that are in there have got so much knowledge, they help each other. Yeah, Graham Roland, Fox did a very good video on marker and spot distance. Carp Steve-O loves the awesome Facebook group. It Only Takes One Bite. Type that in, all one word, and you'll find it. Bloody hell, 48 minutes already we've been going. We've still got 319 people in. How crazy is that, guys? I really appreciate it. That many people, it's just like, blows me away. Every time I do these live feeds or do the videos, how much response and how many good comments there are and how much everyone enjoys it. So I'm going to just keep on doing it. Groovin Cat, good to see you in here, mate. Groovin Cat says, do I need to use a stronger Fox floater zig line than line pound? I use Drenham double strength. I use £8 or £10, depending on how much weed's about in the summer. Cheers, Mr. Patrick Craig says, Neil, keep up the good work. Darren Holmes says, no, it wasn't that, Darren. Greetings, Wendell Hatfield from Ohio, USA. Greetings to you as well. I mean, it amazes me still. We have people from South Africa, France, Germany, Canada, Ireland, England, Scotland, all over the place. America. It's just an amazing thing, isn't it, this community? Carp Fishing Dreams, good luck for tomorrow. Hope you catch one. Matthew Randall says, Leon, what's your thoughts on Ellipse oil? Is it any good? I've heard of Ellipse pellets, which I believe are pretty good, but I haven't heard of Ellipse oil. Philip Miller says, were you with the mess tin repair unit? That's the one. You found me out, Philip. You found me out. Keith Oakley says, Leon, did you pick my message up about the spot I got from abroad? Only if you... I haven't seen it, if I'm honest. Resend it to me or message me. Keith. Ben Stevens off to Willow Park Wednesday. Can't wait. Who's out this weekend? Next weekend coming. Going to be cold this week. We got a massive big wind coming Wednesday, Thursday, Friday time. May stir up the fish, put a bit more oxygen in the water and get them feeding. Will Hollis says, what do you think to the sticky baits brand, Leon? Seen them in the shops, but they're pretty pricey. I think all bodies are pretty pricey. What I will say is I used to work for sticky baits. If you look at some of their pop-ups and some of their mixes, I helped develop them. The Bookerberry pop-ups was my flavour combination of essential oils, and I used to do their media work for them many years ago. So they're a good company. Good baits. Everyone does good bait nowadays. But you don't have to pay 13 quid or whatever it is for a kilo. Brian Mills is out on Tuesday for the day. Chris Burns says, have you tried pike fishing, Leon? I did many years ago in the winter when I didn't know carping, but I just go carp fishing now. I love it. Yeah, the Mountain Warehouse, Dominic Carr, that's the ones that I've got. You did all right, Dominic, getting them. Carper Rolls is on the bank Friday at 48 hours. God, we've still got 319 people in here. Crazy, isn't it? Brian Mills going to Lovells. Good luck, Brian. Let us know how you get on. Yeah, the Manila's a good bait, Ben. Nash Key, 15 quid a kilo. Yeah, I mean, I can't justify that myself. I don't use a lot of bait. I use hardly any bait during the year. Gaz Jones says, what flavour is the System X pop-ups, mate? They are a nutty, creamy, sort of Scopex-y sort of buzz going on about them. I put Tallinn. I soak all my pop-ups in Tallinn for the winter. Not soak. I give them a dusting. Graham Rowan says it's freezing today. I think it's going to get worse, Graham. It's going to get really cold, isn't it, I think? Yep, there you go. Go Outdoors selling sticky baits. If you've got a card, one of the Go Outdoor cards, 10% off. There you go. There we go. What's that? Brian Mills says 12 to 13 quid a kilo. Sod that. I'll make you right, Brian. His base mix, 75 quid for 20 kilo. Lovely. Yeah, and plus, the good thing is, when you roll that 20 kilo up, Brian, it's going to be like 25 kilo, isn't it? Which you've got to add eggs and everything else. So you're actually getting more for that money. Robert Harriman said, what is the best line you would suggest for 100 yards range, roughly £3 test curve rods? I would probably go for, you hit with £15 line, but go for £12 line. Gardner's Pro Light is very good. Fox Warrior line is good. Dow Sensor is good in £12. You'll get 100 yards with that, no problem at all. And the Dow Sensor is about 10 quid a spool. A bulk spool as well. Here you go, Keith Hope, you picked some merino wool, 210 gram base layers from Mountain Warehouse, reduced from $49.99 to $24.99. They're the ones you want, Mountain Warehouse. That's the ones. Scott Corrin says, can you do a guest night Q&A? Not really sure what that means, Scott. Get someone on or go and do it on someone else's channel? I'm not sure. Roy Gifford says, Leon, I think you was a Brill Cream boy. Ah, you never know, Roy. You never know. No, I'll tell you what I was in, Roy. I was in the RAF Regiment. There you go. Which is Brill Cream boy, I suppose, yeah. Rock ape. You would call me a rock ape. There you go. GT8 is a good line. Hard wearing Paul 1 Carp, he says. Paul Merritt says he's out, but he's not cold tonight. Carpy Steve says, does the Coleman heater warm bivvy up on low? Yes, it does. Carpy Steve-O, I have it on really low. You can get a full tank of unleaded premium in there, and it lasts me about 3 hours. Don't forget, add the ventilation. Get yourself a carbon monoxide alarm as well, just in case you nod off. You won't be a happy ending. Jack Evers says, is there going to be a 10,000 subscriber special? There may well be, Jack. There may well be. Matthew Randall says, do a live feed with it behind the scenes at SSP HQ. That'd be good. Yeah, that'd be good, Matthew. But I don't really go up there very often. Probably once a month, once every 2 months. Same with Summit. I'll probably go up there twice a month, I suppose. But yeah, they'd be really good ones, wouldn't they? Former production, yeah, Dom. Hi, Raymond Sweeney. Good to see you. Yeah, I think we've got to start a petition for Brian Mills to do a live bait stream every week, where he gets loads of different ingredients, tells you what they're all about, how you can use them, how to make your own baits. It'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? Chris Bursey said, do you think the Fox Warrior S-Rod is good with the EOS 7000 reel? I believe the Fox Warriors, for the money, they're not bad. EOS 7000 reel, I don't really know a lot about that reel, so I couldn't tell you, but I think the rod's okay. Darren Wilkinson says, live chat with you and Kodak would be good. Me and Kodak are meant to be going out, actually, fishing this winter. We're just trying to find time to do it. So that's possibly on the cards. Evening, Carl. Evening, Damien Jones. Yeah, Matthew Randall. That'd be good. Or come visit us at Angling Direct in Slough and do a live feed. That'd be good, Matthew. I might have to bring... See, a very good friend of mine is... He is one of the bosses at Angling Direct. Scott Corrin said he would like bait chat. I think everyone would, wouldn't they? Dominic Carr, you're a bad man. Mr. Patrick Cray says, Leon, thinking of doing a full year, just all singles bait. With all the bait going in ponds I fish, what do you think? I use singles most of the year. I use singles most of the year and I do all right. So it's just a matter of finding the fish. Wayne Pugh says, hi, Leon. I intend on heading out soon. Single hook bait on a Ronnie rig, maybe. Maybe. If you're confident in that, that's what you got to go for. You've got to be confident in everything you do. No problem, Ian. Always a pleasure. Oh, Angling Director opening another shop in Stoke on the 27th. Oh. Chris Burns says, have you seen Mark Pitcher's In Pursuit of Carpiness? Mark Pitcher's a very good friend of mine. He does some absolute awesome stuff. In Pursuit of Carpiness is really good. Darren Green says, hi Leon, do you use the ATTS box or Neville remote with your Nevilles? I use the Neville remote with mine. I think mine's the Mark II or Mark III. I've never had any problems with it. Absolute brilliant bit of kit. Right, guys, we've been going for an hour, would you believe? An hour. How quick is that? I think the most we had in here was 320 people at one point. Absolutely amazing. Thanks, all of you, for turning up tonight. It's mind-blowing, the community that we've got. Once again, if you're not in our closed Facebook group, the whole community, do a search on Facebook for it. Only takes one bite. Get yourself in there. It's really worth doing. You can also get the Black Chicken merchandise from my website, which helps keep this channel going. That's www.leoncarper.com. You'll find loads of stuff in the shop there. Hoodies, bobble hats, everything, if that's your thing. So I've also got a video coming out Monday, the next vlog, which is at the Park Lake, where I'll be having a little look at the cooker, this cooker. Also, I'll be having a bit of a closer detail, have a look at that combi rig that I keep on going on about. We'll be going through it a little bit more in depth. Wednesday, we've got a video coming out. Well, sorry, Tuesday we're going live. Tuesday night again. Wednesday we've got another video about air pressure, lows and highs, how it affects fish in the lake, and what sort of tactics you should do. There you go, guys. Thanks once again for meeting up with me. I know it was Sunday night instead of Saturday, but I appreciate every single one of you. Long may it continue these live streams and the community we've built. Thanks, guys, for tuning in this week for the live Q&A with me and the community. See you Tuesday.